All right, everybody, what is going on? We're hopping into the 200% level 10 links video here for full power Broly. There he is, everybody. What is his name? Super full power Saiyan 4 limit breaker Broly. Easy name, right, everybody? Oh, so here he is. We're going to be going over him in this video. Taking a look at him. Here we got him linked up with Rose. They share 5 out of 7 links. So we have everything important active here, except for Saiyan Roar, which we will have active next turn. I did bring this Broly because I believe they share 7 out of 7 links. So we're going to run them together. It might be a little bit spooky, but we're going to try it. So let's go ahead and float off Rose. We'll put Hearts in slot 1. Remember, he is guarding. So let's go ahead and grab these. Let's grab this, and then let's just grab this, and then we'll start talking about Broly a little bit here. So, Broly gets 200% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets 100% when attacking, and then he does a bunch of additionals, right? So, he launches an additional super when facing 2 or more enemies. He launches an additional attack that's a high chance of becoming a super attack. He launches another additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack when there's a fused fighter category enemy. So, you know, he launches a bunch of supers. And he starts out here at a 5.7 million. We are facing 2 enemies, so we could potentially do 4 super attacks here. So there's his high chance, I believe. Now, we should have a guaranteed 3rd one coming in after that. Am I missing something? Oh, I'm sorry. No, this isn't... I'm a dummy. No. Okay, so... I'm an idiot. Hang on. I'll explain in a second. Okay, we're back. Sorry, no. The second part of this fight, the Phase 2 against Goku Black and Zamasu, like Rose and Zamasu, is against 2 enemies. This is only against 1 enemy at the moment. My bad. So here we are. So we do a bunch of additionals. Now, Broly stacks defense for 4 turns, which means essentially for, you know, like even if you float him, he's going to keep those stacks up, but it means that you can only have 2 turns of stacks up at any given time. So right now, we did 2 super attacks last turn, so we have an extra 60% like to our defense right here. That's multiplicative. So if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to open up the Google Sheets and show you guys what's going on over here. Okay, so I've done the math right here. So you can see this is Broly's defensive stat, right? Oh, sorry, wrong one. Right here. You know, 11,117. So that's his defensive stat right there. We take into account the leader skill. We're on a double 200% leader skill, right? So 200% times 2. That's a times 5 multiplier, so we're multiplying by 5 right here. Our links, we have Saiyan Roar and Prepared for Battle active as our 2 defensive links. So you can see right here, we have, you know, all 7 activated. So that's a 15% multiplier right there. So we multiply this number by 1.15 to get us to 63. And then at the start of turn, we get 200% the stats, and then Hearts is giving us 50% support, so we multiply this number by 3.5, and then last turn, we did a double super, so then we take this number, multiply by 1.6, and you can see we get really close to the defensive number that we see in game, 357, 966, and you can see I'm off by 1.4 due to rounding. Dokkan rounds all decimals down, so like right here, it would only be 63,922. This would be, you know, whatever that times 3.5 is, etc. So you can see we get off by a little bit, but it's immaterial, right? So anyway, if we go over here and take a look at Broly's passive, right, he's going to be getting 100% when attacking, so then we're going to multiply by 2, but then we have to take into account any additional super attacks that he does on this turn, right? And so those are going to add into this running multiplier right here. So like right now, this is times 1.6. So like right here, it would be 1.9, 2.2, 2.5, 2.8, right? So as we go up in the multiplier, because if we do 3, then that's a 90%, and it'll be 3 total, right? Because last turn we did 2, he stacks for 4 turns. So in total, we will have done 3 supers. That's 3 instances of 30%, which is 90%. To get the multiplier for that, it's you add a 1, so 1.9 is the multiplier. So that's what this is. So this number right here, this 851.72, is this number right here, our start of turn, multiplied by 2 for the 100% that he gets on super attack, because we double it, right? You get an extra 100%. 100% is the same value, so, you know, you multiply by 2, or you take this number, 100% of this value is the same number, you add the 2 together, right? Like, it's the same thing. So either you add the same number to it, or you multiply by 2, it's the same. So 100%, we multiply by 2, and then we've done 3 supers at this point, so then we would multiply by 1.9, and that gets us the 850. If we double super on this turn, then we will have done 4 super attacks total. So we take this number, multiply by 2, and then we multiply by 2.2, because at that point we will have done 4 supers, 30% each. That's 120%. Again, you add a 1 to get it to be, 220% essentially, but it's, 1.2, or 2.2, you guys get the point. And so we get up to 984, et cetera, et cetera. So hypothetically, right, because we should see a similar number to this every turn after this, so long as we're getting about 2 supers every single turn, and we have roughly 50% support active, which we will have between Toa and Demigirl, right? So we should be seeing a similar number to this at the start of turn, each turn right here. And then, this is what our defense will be post-super attack, so long as we're keeping those stacks active. And I went ahead and just kind of bumped it up to 6 just to show potentially what his max defense could be. So, 1.2 million is definitely not shabby, but that's requiring us getting 6 super attacks in total across 2 turns. So, anyway, let's go ahead and continue on with the showcase here. If you guys have more questions about that, or if that just confused you more, let me know. I know I'm not the best at explaining these things, but, I try to give you guys some, numbers to think about in your head. That way, whenever you talk about these units, you at least have something to reference, right? you can just point the finger at me and tell them, like, I got the numbers from this, moron over here, so. We'll be right back. So we only got 1 super attack, by the way, on that last turn, so our defense is going to be lower whenever we come back. Alright, we're back here, and we, again, have all 7 links activated. We have support from Toa, and you can see here we're down, right? 282, 538. As I mentioned, our defense was going to be lower here because we only have 1 instance of the 30% from our super attack effect rolling onto this turn, because we lost the ones from turn 1. On turn 3, we only got 1 super attack, so here we are on turn 5, and we only have 1 instance of that up. So that's why we're down to 282, 538. If I go back over here, I'll have to adjust the formula a little bit. Because like right here, we're only getting 1.3, so I adjust this to 1.3, and so that you can see that's 290, so that's a little bit high, so that means that right here, we're not getting 50% support. If we go ahead and take a look at Toa right here, she gives 40% attack and defense, right, but then she has a high chance to give an additional 10%, which would be 50, but we can clearly see that that is not active right here. So I need to adjust this from 3.5 to 3.4, and now you can see 282, 538. That's the same defense that we have. Ignore the hearts. Right now it's 40% from Toa, but you can see right here, right, 282, 538 is what we're going to be at. And again, this is only from 1 super attack. So these labels down here are now a little bit wrong. Well, these labels are still kind of correct. This would... So now, like, this part would change. I would need to essentially add a line to get the numbers that I would want. So let me do that real quick, and I'll come back right back. All right, I made a few little edits over here to kind of make it more clear as to what's happening. So this is after 2 supers total, 3 supers total, 4, 5, 6, right? So that's what we got going on right here. So after 2 total super attacks, we're going to be at 695, 480-ish, right? And then 825, 956, 10, whatever. So you can see kind of with each super attack, we are increasing by roughly the same amount. This 130, 402, if we just keep going down right here, that's roughly how much we're getting post. Once everything kicks in, this is essentially how much each super attack is increasing our defense, right? So that's what's going on right here. So yeah, if we only do 1 super attack on this turn, we're going to be at 695, 480. If we do 2, we're going to be at 825. If we do 3, we'll be at 956. If we do 4, we're going to be at 1086. And then if we do 5, we're going to be at 1217. And you may be saying, Jordan, that doesn't line up. And it's, well, because we already have 1 super attack running from last turn. Again, this is misleading. So now this is 30% from a single super last turn on turn 3. And then this is 40% from Toa. But we already went over this, right? Oh, come on, mouse, please. All right, so this is essentially what's happening here now. This is what we have start a turn, is this 282. And after we do our first super on the turn, right, we're going to do 1 super attack. We'll have done 2 total, because we did 1 last turn. The stack carried over, so now we have 2 total, 3 total, 4, 5, 6. But this is after 1 super, 2 super, 3 super, 4 super, 5. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Anyway, but you guys can see his max defense is getting up somewhere in this range, which post super attack is good, but pre super attack at 282 is definitely not looking too hot. So hopefully we survive right here. But you know, who knows? Let's find out. So let's go ahead and grab these. You know, that was a lot of talking, and we could just die instantly to a super attack here. So let's see what happens, and, you know, move on with our lives, right? So yeah, double digits from normals, and we dodge. That's good. All right, so BROLY starts with a 6.7. Again, we're going to be doing a lot of super attacks here. We are facing 2 enemies now, so that's our 50% chance. We failed that, but now we have a guaranteed one because we're facing 2 enemies. And then we could do 1 more. Let's see. Do we get 1 more? We do not. Okay. My BROLY, I don't think has an offensive build. I'm pretty sure he's built very, very heavily on dodge. So, yeah, we're probably not going to see that that 4th super attack very often. And then here's this BROLY right here. I probably won't give this guy a dedicated video, considering it would just be this again. You know, I said that about Rose. I said that about the Limit Breaker BROLY in the Rose video that you know, is like, there's going to be a lot of overlap. But in this video, really, it's like we're seeing them side by side. So I'll probably just show both of them here, and this will probably just encompass both videos right here. I won't go over this guy's calcs. If you guys want me to do a standalone video for that Tech BROLY where I go over his calcs and everything, let me know. But otherwise, I'm just going to include his attack stats here, and I'm probably not going to use him very much because his defense is pretty mid. I do have calcs on Twitter if you want to see them, but anyway, let's cut one more time and come back whenever we've got BROLY on rotation. We did 2 super attacks last turn, so we should be back to what we saw on turn 3. So anyway, we'll be right back. Alright, here we are. This will probably be the last rotation that we get right here. Hopefully BROLY shows out for us. But you can see 347, 739. If I go over to these calcs, you guys can see 347, 739 right there. Because we got a double super, we have 40% support from Demigra, right? So after we do our first super attack, will be right here. Second, if we get a third, and if we get a fourth, this is where we're going to be looking right here. Because we already have 2 active from last turn. And so this is where we're going to be right here. So anyway, let's go ahead, get on with it, and see what BROLY's got right here. Again, hopefully we don't just die immediately. He does have a full dodge build. I don't know if I actually showed my build in this video. There we go. Yeah, you can see I haven't even put equips on him because I don't really plan on using him very much. If I was going to put equips on him, I would definitely give him maybe additional to try to get that extra stack out, right? But I just went full dodge because, again, I don't really plan on using this guy much. And if I do have to use him, you know, really, it's like he's going to be fine in most slot 2 scenarios. So giving him dodge probably isn't the best, but whatever, man. All right, he failed the 50% again, and we get the guaranteed one. The chances he gives us a third right here are pretty low, but you guys get the point. It's like his damage numbers aren't incredibly high. He can do a lot of supers, but there's not a lot of 2 enemy fights right now. So I don't know. I don't know how much use you're going to get out of this guy, especially because he's just raw stats, right? He's not good in AoE fights because, like, his defense isn't going to get up high enough in AoE fights prior to the AoE. And then, like, post-super attack, he's, like, very RNG, right? Like, he's probably not going to be tanking super attacks unless you get some incredible RNG. And he's not doing a ton of damage, so this guy is pretty weak. Compared... It's okay, though, because we got Rose and Vegito, who are really good. So if we have to have a couple mid units like that's okay. But this guy definitely could have been better. Let's go ahead and move into the breakdown. Alright, this is Brutal Devil's Battle Instinct, Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker BROLY. His leader skill doesn't matter. His super attack is the Gigantic Cluster, raises defense for 4 turns, causes supreme damage to the enemy. Again, that's a 30% raise that lasts for, 2 turns. So, for 2 rotations, I guess I should say. It's for 4 turns, 2 rotations. We went over this extensively with this calcs, kind of how this works. So hopefully that kind of cleared things up for you guys. If not, let me know. But yeah, this is about all I've got for that. It's deleting now. It's gone. Oh, his passive, Limit Breaking Devil, key 3, 200% at the start of turn. He gets 100% when attacking. He launches an additional super attack that's a high chance becoming a super attack. Okay. He launches a guaranteed additional super attack when facing 2 or more enemies. We saw that several times in the video. Launches another additional attack that's a great chance of becoming a super attack when there is a fused fighter category enemy. So against, like, you know, Merge Zamasu, he gets like a 70% chance to super, I guess. I don't know how much use you're going to get out of this. Maybe against, like, the Divine Wrath and Mortal Will, Tech Zamasu, like, maybe this guy could be helpful there. Because there's no AoEs, he has type advantage, he gets this chance to additional super attack, so he could potentially be good in that fight. His links are just basically Broly links, nothing too crazy here. Just make sure that you have Saiyan Roar active, that's probably his best link, that and Prepared for Battle. If you're getting those active, I mean, that's good, but, you know, Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle, Saiyan Warrior Race, that's a very common link set. And then we have a couple Saiyan Roar characters now that are good, between, like, this guy. I mean, this guy's not great, but, you know, like this, like, if you're trying to get it active with this guy, we have, like, this Vegito, we have this Vegito, right? We have this guy. So there's a couple Saiyan Roar characters out there now that also are prepared for battle that help this guy's defense out. Not many categories, but he's on a lot of 200%. But again, I don't really count these bottom 3. I'm just going to say that in every video. But, you know, these other teams, you could probably run them on to some. As long as there's not AoEs and the boss isn't supering this guy, he can probably be okay. As long as he's not type disadvantage. But you guys get it, right? These are his best linking partners. You can see it's pretty much just Saiyans. Again, his important links that you want to have active are like Saiyan Roar and Prepared for Battle. If you can get those active, that's great. He does share 7 out of 7 with this guy, and they share pretty much the same teams as well. So let me know what you guys think about this super full limit break power Broly. Super full power Saiyan 4 limit breaker Broly. Let me know what you guys think about this guy. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if the stats kind of helped clear up how this guy works or if it just made it more confusing. And I'll catch you guys next time.